Happy Arvo. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. How are you? Good. How Australia is regreening its deserts back into a green oasis. I didn't know it ever was a green oasis. I've got the weirdest cough today. I'm trying to... All right, let's do it. Let's get through it. I'm not going to cough. Maybe like 100,000 years ago when dinosaurs roamed the earth, this was a green oasis. I don't know, but okay. I'm very interested. Leaf of Life. Go check out Leaf of Life. Link down below. Because I can already tell this video is fantastic. I don't know. Let's see.
Australia is the driest inhabited continent on planet Earth, and it is home to the Great Australian Desert, which is the fourth largest desert in the world, after the Antarctic, the Arctic, and the Sahara.
Those are deserts? I didn't know that the Antarctic is a desert.
Australia is comparable in size to the United States. However, its population is significantly less than America's. The whole of Australia has about the same number of people living in it as the state of Texas. Despite the low population, Australia is one of the worst developed countries in the world for broad-scale deforestation, wiping out endangered forests and woodlands. In fact, they have cleared nearly half of all forest cover in the last 200 years. It began around the early...
But there wasn't much to begin with, let's be honest. But that is interesting. I've never heard that. Deforestation? I've never heard of that, like in Australia. I didn't know there were that many forests to deforest.
They have cleared nearly half of all forest cover in the last 200 years. It began around the early 1800s, when the British colonised Australia in search of land and fortunes. At that time, Britain had already been completely stripped of trees for centuries, by intensive agriculture and war. Even today, the United Kingdom has one of the lowest percentages
Interesting to think war is the reason you don't have trees.
Of forest cover in Europe. British timber companies were granted free access to vast areas of virgin forest in Australia, and trees were felled for agriculture and railway tracks, which were constructed alongside other transit infrastructure, such as roads, bridges, and jetties. By the 1880s, concerns about stripping the forest...
Wow, look at that. There's so much wood. My God, look at the amount. It's like right where everybody lives, too. I would have thought it would be like in the middle of nowhere.
were being raised, but no steps towards conservation were taken. And now, Australia has become the worst offending country in the world for mammal extinctions. 55 wildlife species plus 37...
Are they like tagged or something? They must be tagged on the ear.
Plant species have gone extinct. The widespread deforestation has resulted in 55% of all Australian land
How did that treatise fall?
area being used for agricultural purposes, and around 72% of all agricultural output is exported. Meat and live animals has been the fastest growing export segment, growing 33% in value. However, agriculture only accounts for 1.9% of the value-added GDP and 2.5% of all employment in 2020 and 2021. The widespread land degradation has resulted in man-made desertification after centuries.
So it's only a few people out there in Australia exporting all these meats.
Of tilling, and the introduction of non-native grasses has taken its toll on the landscape. However, some regions in Australia are starting to turn this around.
That's the nice thing about trees is you can grow them.
Transforming large areas of degraded land back into biodiverse ecosystems by restoring millions of trees and in turn improving the lives of rural farming communities, as well as capturing over 1 million tons of carbon to benefit the planet as a whole. This can be considered a major accomplishment for any country, particularly one that has a low average rainfall of 16 inches per year. In this video, we will show you how a 200-kilometer long green corridor will connect 12 nature reserves across 10,000 square kilometers. So stick with us as we dive into today's video.
You have to plant them one at a time?
This large-scale reforestation project is in one of Australia's most vulnerable regions. Nearly 20 million trees across 10,000 hectares of degraded farmland have been planted, transforming barren areas of parched earth into forests rich in biodiversity. Carbon Neutral is a biodiverse carbon sink developer working on some of Australia's largest reforestation projects. This project is part of the Yarra Yarra Biodiversity Corridor in Western Australia's Midwest, connecting vital areas of land in the Yarra Yarra Biodiversity Corridor. Biodiversity corridors are areas of vegetation that allow animals to travel from one patch of native forest to another. A corridor provides shelter, food and protection from many predators by imitating the structure and diversity of native vegetation. The forests contain 30 to 50 different...
But it looks so man-made, the way it's just all in rows. I mean, they're saying that's on purpose for whatever, you know, so that animals can go from... It's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to follow exactly what this lady's saying. Her voice is very, it sends you into a trance.
Native species. All of the seeds are collected from within 20 kilometers of the project area, ensuring they are located and adapted to the area, helping to restore the native biodiversity. Soil types across the project areas have been analyzed, so suitable species could be selected for planting. It reclaims a lot of salt land and is helping to prevent wind and water erosion, as well as providing significant habitat for flora and fauna, including some of Australia's rare and endangered species, like the nally fowl and the Carnaby black cockatoo. The project aims to employ local Indigenous people and is currently providing jobs for 10 people. Work includes...
Did you just say it's providing jobs for 10 people? Cheers to that. Cheers to you 10 people. I hope you're watching out there. Congrats on the job.
It's helping with seed
That's a start.
collection, fencing, land management, and working with traditional landowners throughout the region. 80 local businesses are involved, and the project has cost $4 million Australian dollars.
That's not much.
The project is situated in Western Australia's wheat
And they planted 20 million trees? With just these 10 people?
belt,
Or is this something else?
an area cleared for agricultural land. And intensive farming has caused erosion and degradation of the soil, devastating native ecosystems and habitats for wildlife.
It reminded me of the Lion King. Simba's down there. There's a stampede in the gorge. Simba's down there.
Degradation of the soil,
then you see this.
devastating native ecosystems and habitats for wildlife. Over the last century, over 90% of the land has been cleared, which has resulted in a loss of
Mufasa's on the
biodiversity,
way.
and salinity has also been an issue in the valleys. However, tree
I'm sorry, guys. I got a little bit distracted there.
loss of biodiversity and salinity has also been an issue in the valleys. However, tree planting has become a catalyst for life and bringing biodiversity back to the system, which is helping the region immensely. Replanting
Those are neat birds.
native species that were previously on the land is now helping to sequester carbon, generating oxygen, and recreating the ecosystem. Deforestation
Cool.
is a major cause of global greenhouse gas emissions. Native forests
It's interesting that we tore down all these trees and forests and it was all natural. We tore it down. Now we're replanting it in this really weird, it looks like a farm of trees, just row after row. It's kind of weird.
reduce temperatures by creating shade and prevent drought by holding moisture in the water table.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Returning our native forests throughout the world is a vital step to restoring biodiversity, lowering local surface temperatures, and restoring the aquifers. In part, we will cover how community-led
Hello. I didn't know I was recording.
projects are helping farmers to radically transform their farming practices to become more sustainable, resilient, and profitable, and in turn benefiting the environment and the community as a whole. So make sure to subscribe with the notification bell turned on to stay up to date with our latest videos. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like button, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram.
Okay. My thoughts are this lady has a kind of a scary voice. It could be used in a horror movie kind of type deal. Interesting. It's very interesting to see that we tore down the forests in Australia and now they're remaking them in rows. Congrats to the 10 people that got jobs. That's really cool. I don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, I need to read a comment or something. Good on them. I'm in Tasmania, Australia, on a 53-acre-old farm. I've already planted over 2,000 trees and shrubs. That's cool. This guy did 2,000 just by himself. Native birds and animals trying to grow back the forest. I'm Australian. I'm very skeptical of this information. Government grants are handed out from time to time, but Australia is still clearing land and it has not been reversed. Oh. Well, they did say it was only 10 people so far. So I guess there's still work to be done. You guys tell me. I don't know. That was a weird video. I'm not going to lie. But go check out Leaf of Life. I like weird videos. I hope you guys are doing good. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. I'll be here. Subscribe if you want to. Bye.